Welcome to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor Podcast. No shade, just sunshine, drama-free, positive vibes only. Each episode we bring you closer to the neighbors, local legends, and businesses that support the local community and make Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. We want to send out some island love to State Insurance USA, Snug Harbor, Nervous Nellies, and the Alex King Group. They're the good neighbors and businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener. Pull up a beach chair, grab a drink, and let's meet the people who make this island feel like home. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Scheller.
Welcome, good neighbors, to another episode of the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor Podcast. Today we have good neighbor Dan Allers from the Cart Shack and Island Carts, right?
That's correct. Island Carts FMB, yes.
There we go. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a new business for you, right?
This part is, yeah. The Cart Shack is fairly new. It's our sales side of our golf cart business. We have, obviously, Island Carts FMB we've had for quite a while. That's our rental side. So
Okay.
we've always had plans to, venture into the sales side of it, but Hurricane Ian had other plans. So we're a little behind, but we're getting there.
Took a little while to get there, but now you're here, right?
It did, yeah. We had to pivot a little bit, but that's all right.
So let's back up your story a little bit.
Okay.
How did you get involved in all this?
Actually, it started quite a while ago. My wife, Megan, her mom lives up in the Villages, which you know is a big golf cart area. And my daughter has special needs, and she probably will never drive on her own. Okay. So while we were up there one time, we let her drive our mom's Yamaha golf cart. And, she kind of lit up like a Christmas tree.
Right.
So I told my wife, I said, we got to get a golf cart for down on the island so that when she comes to visit, we can let her just drive on the street. So I started doing my research and found out, obviously, they have to be an LSV, which stands for low-speed vehicle. Yep. They can't be a golf cart. They have to be licensed and everything on the island. In the state of Florida, you could drive them on roads up to 35 miles per hour.
Okay.
So obviously, you can't drive them on San Carlos Boulevard here, but anywhere on San Carlos Island and Fort Myers Beach, you can drive it. Obviously, anywhere else in the state that is 35 miles an hour or less.
Yep. So
we found a golf cart that fit that. We drove it for a little bit, and after a while, I'm like, there's really nobody driving golf carts around here. I bet there'd be a need for rentals. So I talked to my business partner, Tim, and I said, we should look at getting into the rental business. And so we jumped in 2021 with 4 carts. And by the time the storm hit, we were up to 15 carts with 10 more on order. Obviously, we know what happened with Hurricane Ian. So we lost all of that. 820 Buttonwood is where we started out of. And after the storm, we turned that into FMB Strong.
Yep.
Obviously, that was where a lot of people were able to get some help right directly after storming it for 3 years. So that's kind of wound down, and now we're back in there again, running the rental business out of part of that. So that kind of led us to, we need to get going on the sales part of it. Right. So that led to the Cart Shack. Actually, one of our friends, every time he would come in before the storm, he's like, well, the golf cart's in there. He's like, God, this is like a cart shack. So that's how we kind of came up with the name.
There you go, right?
I wish I could take credit for it, but it was a friend of ours named Tom.
It always happens that way, doesn't it? Right?
It does. Yeah. It actually planted the seed of the name. So we've been here for about 8 months now, 9 months. This used to be the old, I think it was called the Sticky Licky Ice Cream shop.
Have an elephant on here or something?
It did. It used to be a car dealership. It was pink, and it had a pink elephant on the roof. But the county made him take that down. But we're right next door, obviously, the old bowling alley. So kind of gives an idea of where we're at.
A lot of traffic coming in and out.
A lot of traffic coming in and out. Although this year the traffic hasn't been so bad, so not getting a lot of calls about the traffic. So we're happy about that.
That's a good thing. The light may have helped a little bit, right?
Well, a little bit.
A little bit. There we go. So you mentioned it earlier, the difference between what you sell and a golf cart. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, growing up, people just had golf carts, right? From the old golf course, right?
Yeah, like that one, right?
Yeah.
They're just your typical golf carts. So basically, the difference is an LSV, low-speed vehicle, has to have everything on it like your car does. It has to have a DOT windshield, blinkers, headlights, seat belts. Has to be able to go 25 miles per hour.
Okay.
We can't set them over 25 miles per hour. This is as fast as state law allows you to do that. Whereas a golf cart doesn't have to have all those, and the max speed on that is 19 miles an hour. So that's the real big differences between a low-speed vehicle and a
do people play with that a little bit?
Oh, I'm sure some people do. Yeah, I'm sure some people.
It's kind of like the speed limit, right?
Yeah, and there are ways that you could take a golf cart and put the stuff on it that you need to convert it to a low-speed vehicle. It's fairly expensive, and it's time-consuming. You have to go up through Pinellas and go through the state to have it inspected and have it weighed, so it's almost easier. And now, believe it or not, most of our customers are coming in from gated communities that are now starting to require people who had golf carts to have low-speed vehicles for insurance purposes. Because with a low-speed vehicle, you have to have insurance on it, just like you would a car.
Yeah.
So people in gated communities, the kids, grandkids drive it, and they go to the clubhouse and they sideswipe a car. Something there's really no ramifications. So I'm starting to hear a lot of gated communities are starting to switch to that.
And probably better for, like you said.
It is. Well, they're
around
safer too
places.
because they've got seat belts. And
Exactly.
So most of them, like this one, have 3-point seat belts on them, just like your car.
Like you have to have a driver's license to drive one of these.
You do,
Okay.
just like a car.
Okay.
Just like a car.
I mean, growing up, we could jump in a golf cart. And
Yeah. I mean,
driving, right?
it's always a good idea to have a driver's license, but
Right.
not everybody allows their. Again, it depends. If you're in a gated community, they may have different rules, but if you're definitely going to drive on a public road, you should have your driver's license.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Wisconsin, and back in the day, great grandpa had a farm, and we go out and drive the pickup truck, and we're on private property, though. Big difference, right?
Yeah, I learned to drive in an old '73 Volkswagen Bug, the stick. We also had a 3-on-the-tree Ford pickup truck at my dad's place. So same thing, we drive back from the farm or whatever. So yeah, it's a lot different now.
A friend of mine had an old Bug in high school, and we would pick up all the basketball players and take us to practice.
Yeah.
So it was literally like a clown car. We'd all get in this little VW Bug in the middle of winter, and we'd be scraping the window on the inside because the defrost never worked.
Yeah, my first car was a '73 Plymouth Volare. I bought it for $400. Still one of the best cars I ever had.
Wow.
I learned how to work on it. My mom could work on cars, and my dad could work on cars, and I hate working on cars.
Yeah, right.
So, but when you're working for $275 an hour at the Panic and Hoos back in Minnesota, you either learn how to fix the cars yourself, or you don't drive, or you're riding your bike. So I learned how to do brakes, and I had an old Slant 6 in it, which is probably one of the easiest motors to work on. So that's where we didn't have YouTube, and
I know we had to learn by doing it, right?
Google back then. It was you just take it apart and hope you could figure out how to put it back together. There were no smartphones. If you needed to take pictures, it was a Polaroid, or you were taking the pictures and taking them into the Walgreens or something.
And I had to ask your dad or grandpa, like, what do I do now?
And the answer was always the same: figure it out.
Yeah, right.
So
that's crazy. Yeah, I had a '78 Caprice Classic.
Yeah,
and that was a boat. It was a boat. It was a
Sure.
big solid car.
Yeah,
and I think I had it back when I was in. We had it when I was in college, and we got rear-ended by a brand new Cutlass.
Oh yeah.
Tore his whole front hood up and everything, and scraped the bumper on our thing.
Yeah.
Scraped our bumper sticker. Didn't break a taillight. Didn't break anything. That was a solid car back then.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore.
No.
I love old cars, but they're just not practical.
Yeah.
I'm more of a resto mod guy now, so I like the old look with the new drivetrains.
Right. Yeah.
Modern, but still looks old.
What's your favorite right now?
Oh, there's actually a guy up the road here at the Man Caves. He's got an old 50s Buick. That's a resto mod, and it's a charcoal brown color with a cream colored interior.
Wow.
It's one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen. It's got a beefed up engine. It's a nice resto mod, but that's really, really probably one of the coolest cars. Every time he pulls it out, I have to go by and look at it. It's just really cool. But I'm a big Camaro guy. My first real sports car was a '77 Camaro I got from a friend of mine, Z28, and I love that car. And this long time ago, back in Plain, Minnesota, I fell asleep behind the wheel, drove right underneath the parked van in front of me at the stoplight, totaled that car out, and had to cut it up, so I lost that car. But that was probably one of the funnest cars I had.
I bet. There's a guy on the island has a teal T-Bird, right? I see him drive a convertible, right?
Yeah, and over at Parrot Key here, they have a car show every month, and so I get to see all the cars driving by, going in and coming out. So there's always really cool cars to go see over there. I think it's the first Wednesday of the month.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But it's pretty fun. Yeah,
my dad was a T-Bird guy, so I got got a little charm to that. And who doesn't want to take a convertible to the beach, right?
Well, exactly. It's funny is that you see all the people who like the Ford Mustang guys are not Camaro guys.
Yeah.
Camaro guys are not. I've always wanted a 1969 DZ302 Camaro, but they're very hard to find just because of the motor that goes in it. So, someday maybe. If I sell enough golf carts, there you
go. Come on and buy a golf cart.
Come buy a golf cart. Help me get to my DZ302.
Right. So you said you're from Minnesota originally.
I am, yeah.
What brought you down here?
I was just tired of winters. Actually, it's a funny story. A friend of mine had been vacationing here. I knew about Fort Myers because the Twins played down here, but I'd never been to Fort Myers Beach. And a friend of mine had been visiting here forever. And another friend that owned a paper called the Night Times. Anybody from Minnesota that remembers the Night Times, Johnny Klein owned that. And he and his wife, she worked for Sun Country, so they would be able to fly down there. So they would always get a place down in Marco Island. So one time my ex and I came down to Marco Island, and we drove up here to take the ferry down to Key West on the Key West Express. Yeah. Other than that, I had never been to Fort Myers Beach and know anything about it. But a friend of mine had been coming here for a long time. And she's like, I'm selling my house and I'm moving down to Fort Myers Beach. So she moved down to Fort Myers Beach. And at the time I knew that I was going to leave Minnesota. I was either going to go to Colorado or wasn't exactly sure. So I'd actually put in for a transfer to go to Colorado. And out of the blue, my friend called and said, hey, I got a 2-bedroom place down here. Do you want to come check it out? So I had taken a month off of work.
Sure.
So I loaded everything up that fit my car and came over the bridge and never left.
Just fall in love with that view when you come
so
in
then
there?
I transferred from Colorado out to here and started working in Fort Myers and just never left. And eventually ended up meeting my wife, Megan, at the old Shamrock.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
missed that place yesterday.
yeah,
I know.
yeah, we sure did. But it's all right. Hopefully somebody will build that back.
Yeah.
So we had one of our previous former town managers, Keith Wilkins, actually found a really cool old picture. He found out that that's where we had met.
Oh, really?
And before he left to go back and retire, he actually gave us a really nice picture we got hanging on the wall at the house.
That's very cool.
Of the Shamrock before it was destroyed. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
A lot of good memories with that place for sure.
A lot of good memories. That's just, I've been here since 2012. So the memories even before that are,
right.
To hear about.
I moved down in 89.
I do. So you know a lot more than I do, probably.
A little different, right? Things are, it's changed a lot, and it's going to change moving forward a little bit. But it's going to be better.
It will.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't stay cold like it is today.
I'm tired of the cold weather. I moved down to get away from that. From Wisconsin here, from Minnesota, we don't shovel snow anymore.
No,
we don't get that.
We just had a friend of ours that was in town for the St. Patrick's Day parade that was at the airport for the last 2 days because of all the snow that's going on up in Wisconsin. And they just got back 7 hours ago.
Wow.
So they've been waiting there for 2 days.
Yeah, my mom's up in Spooner, which is right across the border in Wisconsin there. And talked to her the other day and she had 12 inches. She goes, it's still snowing. I'm like, Mom, you want to come down? No, I'm good. I'm like, well, you just stay inside. Don't go anywhere.
I know. The people from Minnesota are probably laughing at the way I'm dressed right now, but it's cold out there.
I know,
55 degrees out this morning when I got here.
I'm with you. I've been down here long enough. It gets below 80. I'm in pants and shorts and sweatshirt.
It was funny. My roommate at the time before I moved down here, so I wanted to wait, till my daughter was old enough to understand why I was moving and so I moved down here and I was going to give my brothers all my stuff. They got my snowmobiles, trailers, all that kind of stuff. And all my construction equipment, all that was gone. And I was going to give away all my warm sweatshirts. And a friend of mine, it's my roommate, she's like, you don't want to get rid of it. It does get cold down there.
Right.
So it's Florida, you don't know what you don't know. And of course, that first year it got into the low 30s in December. Right. And I saved one sweatshirt, my favorite construction sweatshirt. It was a green Carhartt I had probably had for 20 years.
Oh,
Carhartt, they last forever. Yeah. And it takes about 10 years to really break them in where they're nice and soft.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. So whenever it get below 70, I'd have that thing on, and then Hurricane Ian took it. So I lost it. So I finally broke down a couple weeks ago and bought another Carhartt.
Oh boy. I think when I first moved down here, I could probably count within the first 5 years on one hand how many times I wore pants.
Mm-hmm.
And the first year I was down here, 89, it got cold like it did this year, where it was like in the 30s. And I think there was actually flakes of snow in the air. Nothing stuck, but you could see it in the air. But I'm like, what? I moved away from this. What am I doing?
I remember seeing the news stories the first time it got cold, and like, you got to cover your plants, protect your plants. What time am I in?
Right.
That's something I hear back in Minnesota.
You're used to Minnesota with snow.
And, you're covering your plants. Like, you got to cover all your plants. I did see one news station where they said you might have ice form on your bird feeder.
Oh, geez. That's crazy. So getting back to golf carts.
Yeah.
What kind of carts do you got? What do you offer? What can people expect when they come in here and check you out?
So we have a few different brands that we carry. We've got Edge EV. We've got Grayson, which is what I'm sitting in. Yeah. We also have Voyager, which is an all aluminum chassis with eco batteries in it, which now have lifetime warranties on them. And then we have Rides, which is, you've probably seen them around there, the ones that look like picnic tables driving around. Yeah. We've got Rides. It's an all aluminum, stainless steel made golf cart. Obviously, it's an 8-passenger.
Yeah.
If you've seen it, it looks like a picnic table on wheels.
And a guy drives.
Yeah, there's no pedaling. Yeah. A lot of people say, oh, you got to pedal it. No, it's got a 76-volt motor in it, or 76-volt battery. So you could do about 45 miles on a charge. It'll do 25 miles an hour. It's street legal, just like all of our other carts. And then we have Honor LSV, which is probably the most American-made golf cart.
Really?
Yeah, in the United States. 97% of the checks from that golf cart stay here in the United States. Their goal is to eventually be 100% made, but they have a custom frame. I've probably got 10 or 11 that have been sold on the island.
Yeah.
You see them driving around. They've got a patent pending on their custom frame, the solid aluminum frame. They're now making all their own plastics and painting everything in-house. So the last thing that will need to be American made on it will be the electronics. Okay. Obviously, that's going to be the hardest part.
Takes a little time,
But everything is manufactured, and they can't say they're 100% American made because of the electronics part of it, but they are 100% manufactured and assembled here in South Carolina.
That is awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
90%, that's still,
They've been voted the safest cart in the industry 2 years in a row. They've got the lowest center of gravity. They've got a patent pending on the stabilizer bar. In fact, before you can be a dealer, as you come up to a shop up in South Carolina, and Tim and I went up there and took a tour and just amazed. It's got about $45 million worth of machinery up there. The aluminum comes from the United States. Everything comes from the United States, and it comes in as flat stock, and then it's bent there, welded there, assembled there. And their qualities, they're probably the only golf cart that when it actually shows up here, I don't have to do anything.
That's nice, right?
Right
out the truck, right?
Well, you have to, make sure everything's tidied up, because they spend time on trucks. And other than putting running boards on, if someone ordered it with running boards, it's about the only thing I have to do because of the width of it.
Yeah, I gotta like that.
So they're great carts. They're obviously not the cheapest carts in the market, but they're comparable to an Easy-Go club car, Yamaha. They're in that same type of price range. But to me, they're far more quality conscious than those carts are. Makes
sense. So technology wise, from people from the old school golf carts to new school, what can they expect?
So a lot of people, the old golf carts used to have the lead acid batteries in them. We've all seen them. They're just sitting on the floor over there. So a lot of people are now converting to a lithium battery. So you can save about 300 pounds on a 48 volt cart. Wow. So instead of having 6 or 8 batteries in your cart, you're having one bigger one over there. Just one battery replaces the 6 or 8 batteries that you have. So you save about 300 pounds. And the difference between a lead acid battery and a lithium battery is you don't lose the power. Anybody that's ever had a golf cart, and as you see your motor, you see your charge going down now, instead of doing 15, you're doing 12. Then you're doing 10.
Might have been on the golf course a couple of times.
But anybody been on the golf course knows what you're talking about. If they're not gassed, you start to see them slow down. Well, lithium doesn't do that. It's similar to most people have drills in their house now. Okay. It'll stay full power all the way up until it's dead, and then it charges much faster. So, and there's no maintenance. You don't have to put distilled water in them. They're not sealed. You don't have to do anything to them except for get in and go. And most of them now have 10-year warranties on them. Usually 5 to 6 years full replacement, and then they start to prorate the last 3 or 4 years. Eco Battery, like I said, they're probably the number one. They are the number one lithium battery dealer in the country out of Utah, and that's where a dealer for them, as well as Rhino, which is the hat that I'm wearing. So Rhino and Eco just announced that they have a lifetime warranty on their batteries now. So obviously it's full replacement for so long, then it starts to prorate. Then eventually you get to the point where you get the new insides for it versus getting a whole new battery. So they've been great batteries. There's a lot of talk out there about lithium batteries and
cheap ones. Not the good ones are good ones.
Yeah, if you're buying something off of Amazon, to save $500, there's a good chance you might have problems with it. But
you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. Yeah, there's nobody to pick up and call. That's why we like to work with companies that are in the United States. So you actually can get the owners for both of them. I could text them both right now and they would get back to you, or have someone from their support staff get back to you. So that's the kind of dealership we are. That's how we been successful in our rental business. Is we're customer first. We don't want to be the biggest. We just want to be the best. So we've really built our business on, if you look at our reviews on our island carts, we built it on personal interaction. There's not until we had someone now start working with us, we make sure we meet every customer. They usually get our personal cell phone number so that they have an issue. They want to know where to go to eat, what's open, what's not open. I still get messages from people 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago saying, we're coming to town. Can we get another cart? So that's the type of business we have for our rental business. And that's what we want to carry over to there's not a day you probably won't see me in here doing something, so I'm at a meeting or I have to be somewhere else. But usually I try to be here every day because we are new and I want people to know who they're dealing with. So
actual customer service? People do that stuff?
Well, if we're a little bit older than some people now, so it's
the only way we know how to do things.
Yeah, I was brought up that your word is your bond, right?
Yeah.
So, you can't please everybody. Obviously, we know that, but if you can please 99% of the people, that's obviously the goal. So far, we're hitting that mark, and we continue to hopefully do that.
There you go. Well, you're doing great. A lot of good things happening on the island. A lot of good things happening with the golf carts, but you are, in essence, a good neighbor, and I love it. So,
Yeah.
we need more people like you on the island.
Well, I need to find out where you get all your fun clothes on.
I always tell people to store, but actually, they're loudmouth. They're loudmouth.
I've got a few loudmouth pairs of shorts.
So John Daly is same exact birthday, same date, same year as me.
Really?
I do have a twin, but it's not John Daly.
We actually last year's Putting Club we went as the
Daily
Buzz.
Yep,
Our team name was the Daily Buzz. So we went. We had he's got the Good Boy vodka.
Yep.
We were all dressed. We had the mullets on. It was pretty fun. We
Love
all had
it.
loudmouth shorts on and loudmouth shirts on. It's fun. Yeah, I like that guy. How do you not like him?
I know exactly. Yeah, and I love your personality. You're just a great person around the community. So keep doing what you're doing.
I will. You as well.
All right. Thanks, man. Pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Take care.
Listening to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast. No shade, just sunshine, drama-free, positive vibes only. If you loved what you heard, share it with a friend and keep the good vibes going. Until next time, remember to Cabo until you wabo and keep being a good neighbor. Also, to nominate your favorite neighbors, local legends, heroes, or local businesses to be on the show, go to FMBGN-BIZ-The. That's FMBGN-BIZ-The, or call 239-427-4100. We want to send out some island love to State Insurance USA, Snug Harbor, Nervous Nellies, and the Alex King Group. They are the good neighbors and businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love.